She feels like she's struggling. She's broke. She's confused. She's me. Growing up, I watched a lot of television. I was obsessed. Like, really though. I wasn't allowed to watch TV during the week, so whenever I could, which was usually just like as soon as like 4 p.m. hit on Friday after school up until like Sunday night, I would just voraciously watch every single bit of media that I possibly can. I think that obsession has still kind of followed me. I love TV, love movies, obviously. This channel. But something I've noticed is that Black media, like Black movies, Black TV shows that are centered on like Black families, Black characters, aren't really made for Black people anymore. They really feel like they're after-school infomercials on like the Black experience. And by that I mean they're awkward and stilted and forced. And I understand that we are definitely in a space and a time where, you know, a lot of POC voices are being heard, which I love, and people want to really push for representation. Also amazing. But I don't love the representation that we have. When we treat the stories of Black people and people of color as one-dimensional lessons for the world, I guess, we do everyone a disservice. And also it can be funnier. I want to laugh, I can't laugh. It is, oh my gosh, look at the scene right here.
Well look, if you like those Spanx, you're gonna love these cashmere scarves. Just $10 each.
Really? That's so cheap. Where did you get them?
Okay.
What? Oh, are they stolen?
What? Of course there's the argument that, you know, any representation is good representation because it's out there, but I feel like we're at a point where we can refine and we can be better. But the stilted awkwardness is the thing that really hurts me the most. So think about shows like Blackish. When it first started, it was a show about a Black family. I don't really love the title. I don't really know what the title's really kept trying to come at, but we're gonna ignore it. But then as the show went on, it felt like it was like a soapbox, like preachy, not real, inauthentic look at what it's like to be a Black person. It's like if you were looking at a Black person in like a, I don't know, under a microscope, like in a box at a zoo. Like, we're people. Racism exists, and that is definitely a problem and issue that we deal with. Systemic oppression is also an issue and a problem. But like, I'm not waking up in the morning and like, as soon as I'm eating my Cheerios, like that's like my first thought, or like that's like my whole day. It's affecting me, obviously, but there's more to my story. And I feel there's more to like all of our stories. So like the awkwardness, that weirdness, you can see that in shows like I said, Blackish.
Oh, well in that case, you know what word I miss? Colored.
Black AF.
Hey, at least if you're gonna shoot a gun, shoot it like that. Have you ever seen Boys in the Hood?
Bob loves Abishola.
Thank you, Hulu.
Olu.
All right, Hulu.
Like it's weird, it's forced. Why? But then we also have the issue where some representation is going in the opposite direction. Instead of after school special, we're getting extremely exploitative. Like 12 Years a Slave, or Them, or really any, which is so much of this like media, us, Queen and Slim is like this too, where the main villain of the story is racism, and you're just seeing Black people be brutalized, and it feels like the whole point of it is just to see Black people be brutalized. I'm so tired. I want to see something else. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not confused about whether or not racism exists. It does. But I don't need to see that all the time ever. I completely understand the need for it in the sense of like an educational purpose for like people who don't understand about racism and like issues that are going on in the world. That's great, but like we can make more than this. We should be doing more than this. You know what? You get it? You feeling me? Are we on the same page? Because there is more to the Black experience. There is more to Black people. There's more to our story. We're more than this. And also, I feel like we're telling the same story over and over again. You know what I mean? I think we can do something different. And there is a couple people out there that are doing something different. If you've seen Donald Glover's Atlanta, one scene I remember when I was watching the show that really hit me really hard, and what I really love that the show does, I can go from comedy to dark to deep to mystic, all in like the span of like 3 minutes. one character was arrested, and while he was in the holding cell, you see some issues in the American jail system, the overcrowding. You could see in the scene how the racial biases are going on, but something that hasn't had a light shine on it was the issue of mental health and how we deal with homeless people and people with mental health issues. In this scene, it was very obvious that this homeless man was suffering from some sort of mental ailment. Like, he needed professional help. But because of where he was and the lack of resources there, like, he would just go in and out of the prison. And unfortunately, there's a scene where he goes to a toilet and he drinks out of a toilet, but then when he spits at a police officer, the scene goes from what's supposed to be comedy to incredibly sad in a second. Because when he's drinking out of the toilet, it's funny and it's entertaining to everyone. Of course, us as the viewers, as we're watching it, we're disgusted and we're sad because you want to help this man, but you don't know how to. And you see that he represents the high number of homeless people that are homeless not because they don't have money, but more because there's someone who needs like professional help and have just been left to their own devices. But when he spit the urine that was in his mouth at the police officer, they begin to beat him. And the scene and then you hear his screams and the scene cuts. And I think that's poignant. And I think that's important. And that is something hard to watch and hard to see and hard to talk about. But it was dealt with a really elegant deftness. And that's what I want us to do. I don't know if my point is being made, but I want us to, I guess, do more. Let's get deeper. Let's look into more. Let's talk about more. You know what? The issue is this. We are focusing on these problems and acting like there are specifically only Black problems, but Black people have other problems, and I think the issue is that we're not looking at the intersectionality of it. And when I mean intersectionality, I mean that, like, you know, if you are a homeless man who is Black and also has mental ailments, you are dealing with racism, but then you're also dealing with ableism, and these two things are compounding on each other. I want to tell this story. This is where we're getting deeper into it. There is a beauty in Atlanta and the story that it says that a lot of people resonate with. And it's hard because life is hard, but there's a multitude to life in its facets. And I think that we should show more of these facets. I'm so tired of this single shallow lens. Let's multiply it. Let's do more. You know, let's paint a deeper, richer painting. Bob Ross right here, just like, you know, happy little trees with some depth, with some color. And I think we're already kind of going in this direction for POC stories being told in a more humane way. There's this TV show, I do not remember the name, but I'm gonna put it right here so you can see it. It is funny, it is cool, these characters are people, they're fully rounded, they're not just, I don't know, checking a box. It's nice to see things like this happening. Maybe one day I can write my own story. Probably need to buy student loans first. I've made myself sad.